What's good, yo? What's good? Mike Sears, Speak Your Clout podcast. Bender Boy representative in the building. And I'm here to talk about an album that means the world to me. An album that's in my top 5 rap albums of all time. An album that celebrates its 25-year anniversary today. I'm talking about the infamous Mobb Deep with their sophomore album, The Infamous, released in 1995. And as I said, it celebrates its 25-year anniversary today. Now, last year, we reviewed this album on Speak Your Cloud podcast. So this is not a review per se. It's just me celebrating the 25-year anniversary of this magnum opus of an album. I give my memories with it, my favorite tracks, just talking about this album needed to be done, doing it for the culture, y'all. I know that's kind of cliche to say. A lot of fake niggas say that, but yeah, man, for the culture, I'm talking about Mobb Deep, the infamous, man. An album that impacted me, Jesus Christ, so much. You know what I mean? One of the very first cassettes I ever gotten is the infamous from Mobb Deep. Now, how I discovered Mobb Deep was in 1995. I'm pretty sure it was the summer of '95 because I got this album months later than the initial release. Um, so I was sitting down in my living room and I watched Yo! MTV Raps a lot as a kid, man. That's what made my tape collection so big. You know what I mean? Besides my uncle's knowledge or older dudes in the projects knowledge, um, I caught the Shook Ones video, Shook Ones Part 2. You know, niggas got the stove on in the kitchen, cooking the crack or whatever. And, you know, Prodigy and Havoc with the fucking Hennessy jerseys on. That whole shit, man. I was like, oh man, this shit is amazing. I just love that joint. Hit it on the radio a lot. Summer of '95, there was two songs that you could not escape. Now, 1995 is arguably my favorite year in hip hop. Period. You know what I mean? But 1996 is right up there too. It's kind of hard for me to choose between the two, but the two songs that you couldn't escape no matter where you go. I remember I went to the store with my mom's and I heard it. I went to the mall with my uncle and I heard it. It was Sugar Ones Part 2 and Raekwon Ice Cream. Summer Night is, my little brother Jordan, who's, Christ, 24 now, 25. Um, he'll be 25, I believe, in June. But he was born in summer '95. So I think of him, my little brother, and I think of Ice Cream and Shook One's Part 2. You couldn't escape those songs. So once I seen that video, I went out and I bought these the same day. I bought Mobb Deep The Infamous on cassette, and I bought Raekwon Only Built for Cupid Links on cassette, man. What a day that is, huh? And I couldn't stop fucking playing them. You know what I mean? Like, these shits right here are just incredible. And my uncle put me on to get, like, on game about Mobb Deep, taught me about Mobb Deep. They had an album previous to this in 1993 called Juvenile Hell. And I'll be honest, y'all, I'm not the biggest fan of Juvenile Hell. I'll be a buck with y'all. Now, I like some songs in there, Locked Up in Spofford. Bitch Ass Niggas, I believe, is a song on there. It's not whack by any means of the imagination. It's just that, to me, The Infamous is their first album. You know what I mean? Like, the first is like a demo tape, Juvenile Hell. You know what I mean? I don't even own Juvenile Hell physically. Do I want Juvenile Hell physically? Yeah. I like to have it physically for the collection. It's not a bad album, but to me, The Infamous is fucking the album that made me a Mobb Deep fan. You know what I mean? So this album was huge. You know what I mean? You had West Coast cats like Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, fucking Spice One, E40, fucking Jail Felony. I can go on and on. They were like running the rap game until like Wu-Tang Clan came with Enter the Wu 36 Chambers, Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders, fucking Black Moon entered the stage, Nazomatic, of course, and then this was like right at the cusp of all that shit. You know what I mean? Steve Rifkin posted today that the Infamous was the follow up to Enter the Wu Tang 36 Chambers, because that was the first album on Loud, was the Wu album, and this was the second album on Loud Records, was the Infamous, and the Infamous is my second favorite. I mean, my bad. Loud Records is my favorite label of all time, easily. I love Loud Records, and this was the second album released on Loud Records, and it did a great job, you know, in sales or what have you. Like, everything about this album is amazing. The sequencing, you know, the skits all lined up very well. You know what I mean? Perfectly. Um, the flow of the album, like, everything about it is amazing. The production, Q-Tip did some beats on here. I believe Q-Tip did Temperatures Rising, Drink Away the Pain, fucking Give Up the Goods, Just Step, and I think that's all he did. I'm pretty sure, and Havoc handled the rest of the production. But you have features from Raekwon on here, Ghostface Killer, Nas, and Big Noid, and Q-Tip rhymes too on Drink Away the Pain. This album is just top to bottom brilliant. You know what I mean? And when this never left my fucking Walkman. I used to walk to school there and back with this album. It never left my Walkman back then, man. It's the perfect fucking album. It starts off brilliantly with the start of your ending for the first side. I fucking love that shit. Such a great track. Real dark, real eerie. I think Havoc did a tremendous job on that. Fucking Prodigy came through with an ill verse as well. That's one of my favorite tracks on the album for sure, man. So fucking dope. I love Havoc's verse too, I keep it, what do you say? I keep it real, packed still like my man YG. When a fool try to play me when I'm up, then I'm Swayze. Then I'm Swayze. That was some like a saying back then. I'm Ghost. Patrick Swayze starred in the movie Ghost, so I'm Swayze. That's some fly shit. Meaning I'm Ghost, really. You know what I mean? Love that shit. Prodigy. Prodigy kills this shit too, man. So fucking dope. Definitely a classic track. We do damage to limbs in 91, stomping you out with Black Tims. Prodigy's in my top fucking 5 rappers of all time. That dude is a fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like, especially 95 through 1999, forget about it. If I had to pick I do top 3 tracks all the time, right? But it's a special occasion. It's 25 years of the Infamous. So I'm doing top 5 tracks this time around. My top 5 tracks are Mobb Deep's The Infamous, man. My favorite track on this album is Up North Trip. Now, the funny thing about Up North Trip is I had the cassette from 95 to 2000. I sold my cassettes in 2000, right? I started getting CDs in 1998. When I got this CD in 1998, I got the Infamous CD, the same copy that I had when I was fucking 13 years old is the same copy I have now, right? And I didn't hear Up North Trip on my cassette because it's not on there, y'all. It is not on there. If you own the cassette, I'm telling you, check it. It's not on there. So I grew up a while without Up North Trip, man. So when I first hit it on the CD, my mind was fucking blown. Because no one around me had the CD. All the Project niggas had the cassettes, man. Uncle had the cassette, so fucking I heard Up North Trip for the first time in 1998, and it blew me the fuck away. That is always been my favorite song on The Infamous, you know? Now, when I had the tape, my favorite song on there, easily, was QU Hectic. I love QU Hectic, man. That is my shit. On fucking, Up North Trip is about, like, being locked up, Up North, that means jail, and dealing with, the trials and tribulations of being a incarcerated black man and shit, you know? But, QU Hectic is about grimy street life, you know what I mean? Dealing with shit, in, crazy situations and whatnot. That's my shit. Absolutely love that track, QU Hectic. That's my second favorite track on the album. My third favorite track on the album gotta be Survival of the Fittest, man. I just love that shit so much. Havoc did his thing on the production on there. The video was fire. I remember that video very well when I was a kid and being mad that Puffy was in that bitch. Cause even at the tender age of 10 years old, I didn't like Puffy. I never liked Puff Daddy. Yeah, I do own No Way Out. That's because of the features and I like Victory and all that, but I never was a Puff Daddy fan at all. Not by the least bit. I never liked Puff. I thought Puff was a faggot. You know what I mean? Just keeping it a buck. But Survival of the Fittest is my shit, y'all. That joint is so ill. I love it, you know what I mean? So dope. Dope ass track, Survival of the Fittest. Now my fourth favorite track on the album, that's a tough one, man. I would have to say Eye for an Eye, Your Beef is Mine, featuring Raekwon and Nas. That shit is so fucking ill. Every time I post a picture of a Heineken, right? If y'all notice on Instagram, on IG, I tag it with "Sip B is the German ones." That's a Raekwon line on there. You know, when I had a girlfriend back in the day, I said, "Yo, that's my woman friend." That's a Nas reference right there. Like that song has been instilled in me since childhood, man. Like I used to hear that going through the projects. Yo, I lived in Maple Gardens from 1992 to 2001. And when I think of The Infamous, this particular album, it takes me back to the projects, man. It really fucking does, you know? And Eye for an Eye was played throughout the projects, you know? I think it's Super Nintendo when I fucking listened to this album. Because that's what I was playing in the background while I was playing the video games and shit, you know what I mean? Like, this album is so important to me, it's not even funny, So, yeah, Eye for an Eye, Your Beef is Mine. That's definitely my fourth favorite track on the album. Now, my fifth and final favorite track on the album, it gotta be, see, there's two of them right now. I'm trying to decide between Right Back At You featuring Raekwon and Ghostface Killer or Drink Away the Pain with Q-Tip. I gotta go Drink Away the Pain. I'll go Drink Away the Pain. I'll tell you why. And it's some real shit, okay? In 2009, a piece of shit bitch. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I don't give a fuck what niggas have to say. This bitch I was fucking with, I got her pregnant, and she aborted my kid. I was madly in love with the bitch. You know how niggas get. Some niggas, you know? And the bitch aborted my kid, lied and said she had a miscarriage, and she told me she had an abortion. I had to get it out of her, you know what I mean? Fucking. And I became like damn near a borderline alcoholic. I used to drink like 12 packs of Heineken within a day, fucking down in fifths of Hennessy, like dead ass fucked up off the shit. And I would bump that joint while I just fucking stewed in anger and sadness. You know what I mean? Straight bummed out, fuck the world type shit. And I drunk away the pain, man. You know what I mean? 2009 is the worst year of my fucking life. Seriously. Despise that year. But that's why I relate to that track so much, Um, Q-Tip rapped about clothes on there and shit, which, kind of pissed Prodigy off. But P said he got used to it and enjoyed it, you know what I mean? But, man, I fucking love Also, honorable mention if I had to pick it is "Give Up the Goods, Just Step" with Big Noid. Fucking love that song. So fucking good. I love the little interlude, the Just Step prelude. You know, Big Noid killed that shit. I'm going to court for 3 cases in 3 places. One in Queens, Manhattan, one in Brooklyn. The way things looking, I'ma see central booking. Facing 3 2 to 9s is mad side. After ran, oh man, he just killed that shit, man. Killed that shit. And then P came through with that. Son, I got plans of power movements. Get on some rude shit. I keep living like this, I might lose it. My man's coming home from doing long ass bits. What up, Kiko? I ain't seen your ass since we was kids. Love that. Oh man, that shit is so fire. It's a fucking interlude, but it's still ill. You know what I mean? I like the what do you say? Trying to remember. A 3 to 9, spending most of his time inside the Bing. Reclining, still came home with his shines. Yeah, I love that shit, man. Then it goes right into Give Up the Goods. And Give Up the Goods is fucking crazy, man. I love Give Up the Goods. That shit is fucking nuts, man. Q-Tip did his thing on there, man. So ill. Prodigy did his thing. Big time, you know what I mean? Noid, Have. So fucking ill. But Prodigy had it the best, in my opinion. Prodigy killed it, you know what I mean? For years I've been doing the same shit, just drinking, looking, doing bids, extorting crackheads, and sticking up the stick up kids. Like, oh my god, nigga, like P was that fucking dude, man. He really was. As I stated at the top of the show, The Infamous is in my top 5 albums of all time, period. Top 5 rap albums go like this, y'all. I said it plenty of times on the show, but I'll say it again for y'all. Number 1, Raekwon the Chef, guest starring Ghostface Killer. Only built for Cuban Links, released in 1995. Number 2, The Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die, released in 1994. Number 3, this album, celebrating its 25-year anniversary, Mobb Deep The Infamous, 1995. A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders, 1993. Tribe Is Everything to Me. And number 5, Nas, It Was Written, 1996. Those are my top 5 rap albums of all time. They're interfucking-changeable. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm seeing Havoc doing a lot of promo, celebrating the 25 years of the Infamous, and I wish P was here, y'all. I really wish P was here to celebrate it, man, because he impacted so many people. He really did. He influenced the Griselda Records of the world. You know what I mean? Rock Marciano, Mayhem Loren, and these are dudes that said it. You know what I mean? And Bandana P, man, R.I.P. to Bandana P. He will greatly be missed, man. And yeah, the infamous 25 years. As I said before, top 5 songs: Up North Trip, QU Hectic, um, Eye for an Eye, Your Beef Is Mine's, and Drink Away the Pain, man. Situations. Gotta go with that, man. And I love the back cover too. And if you're a Mobb Deep aficionado like me, you know you see Twin Gambino, you see Ty Nitty, you know, both being members of Infamous Mob. You see, I think his twin brother before he passed away is on there. Um Capone. And I'm pretty sure you see Karate Joe on there as well. This album is just flawless. 5 mics. And instead of doing the top 3 tracks like I always do, I did top 5 tracks. Like I said, this is not an album review. This is just my thoughts and celebrating the infamous 25 years. And I'm do the same for Hell on Earth. I'm do the same for Murder Music. We're gonna review Murder Music though. Me and Steven, you know, more than likely gonna do Murder Music. Probably have Ricardo on there. That's his favorite Mobb Deep album. But yeah, Mobb Deep is fucking my favorite duo of all time, y'all. Easily my favorite duo that both rap. You know what I mean? Because you can talk about EPMD and Gangstar all day. You know what I mean? But for me, my favorite duo that can rap is definitely Well, favorite duo that raps is Prodigy and Havoc, hands fucking down, easily. So with that being said, much love to Havoc, R.I.P. to Prodigy. Um, much love. Celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Infamous by blasting that shit. They just released a fucking 25-year anniversary digital copy of the album. They added like two unreleased tracks. I think they were released on like that infamous album that came out in infamous Mobb Deep album that came out in 2014, I think it is. But you get Shook Ones Part 1, which is amazing. I love that shit. Give you fair warning, beware, pun sample that for Beware of Capital Punishment in 98. But yeah, man, fire. Fire, fire. Classic album. The infamous 25 years, man. Mobb Deep. The greatest fucking duo of all time in my eyes. That can rap. Two rappers, you know what I mean? Not talking about EPMD or like um Gangstar and shit like that. Blase Blase. They have fucking one album. But yeah. Mobb Deep, the infamous 25-year celebration, man. And I'm gonna end it like that, y'all. So enjoy this. Listen to this album, you know? I'm gonna talk about another track that I fucking love on here, man, before I go. Uh Fatal to the Grave. It's so fucking dark. So dark. Love that track. Just an amazing album. There's no skippables on this fucking album at all. Whatsoever. One of the greatest fucking grimy boom bap hardcore hip hop albums of all fucking time. Easily, y'all. 25 years of the infamous, and I'm out of here. Mike Sears, Speaker Clout Podcast, Bender Boys. Catch y'all niggas on the flip side. Peace.